50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, I love our intro now since football is back, baby. Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 554. Today is August 21st, 2025. Kid, we moved in yet?
Yeah, I'm going to say 90% in. It's clearly, I'm not in the studio. So
Yeah.
I apologize for the small echo. I'm currly in my dining room right now. So still not not finally moved in all the way, but we're like 90% there, Dale. So I'm hoping,
Yes.
after vacation, we spoke. I'm gonna say either the 8th or the 10th is my goal to be set up in studio. Maybe get some of the noise canceling foam.
Yeah.
Maybe get a few of those. But we'll see.
That's
Hope
good.
the goal is the 8th or the 10th. Anything after that, I'm letting the company down.
I see, cutesy on Instagram with the keys, the matching keys for the home. Trust me.
Patriots keys.
Yeah, I see. I saw it. Your girl had the pinkies, obviously. Gotta love that. So happy for you. Yeah, so we'll get that ready and set after vacation. I'm going to Florida as well tomorrow, so we're both taking a little
big.
Yeah, going get a nice little reset before the NFL season. We always go away a little bit right before the NFL season, but we got a great show for you guys. We'll recap some NFL news. Got a great interview with Caroline Fenton of Yahoo Sports Daily. We talked about her with the Panthers and the Buccaneers. College football is back week 0. I have a few plays. We'll see if Elvis has any, and then we talk about the MLB. We got big series for your Red Sox, Yankees,
sir.
Red Sox this weekend. So we'll have some baseball plays towards the end of the show. But, kid, I want to start actually in the NBA. Your boy, John Wall, has retired from basketball. 5-time All-Star out of Kentucky. He played for the Wizards, Clippers, Rockets towards the end of his career. He's actually moving on towards an analyst position on Amazon Prime. So good for him. Career, I would say disappointing. Because the hype coming out of Kentucky, you would have thought he would have been way better. Is that fair?
Is it fair? Yes. But to be honest, though, maybe long term, he wasn't as great as you wanted him to be for as long as a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no doubt, for a few years, John Wall was one of the best point guards in an NBA.
That's fair. He's athletic as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was at one point the best, but I'm saying that he was in the conversation for multiple years as regarded as the best point guard in the league. Let's not forget, at one point, John Wall was the fastest player on the court dribbling the ball for a couple seasons, right? He was athletic. Yes, Washington never really did anything. I think he won one playoff series. I think the playoff series.
It was against the Nets.
The where Paul Pierce hit that buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh no, it was against the Raptors.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Look, is it fair to say your statement? Yes, but I think people gotta understand. I think the average NBA career is 3 years. John Wall was what, a 5-time All-Star. I think he was in the league for over a decade. Yes, it didn't plan out like we possibly wanted to be, but at the end of the day, he came in, first overall pick. Had, to me, for the short stint, he had a great career for the short stint. Yes, it would have been nice if he would have went 15 years strong, 10-time All-Star, gold medalist, stuff like that. But, things didn't work out that way. And prior to his injury, prior to his first significant injury, like I said, he was considered one of the best point guards in the NBA. So I think John Wall, is he a Hall of Famer? Probably not. Do I see maybe, Kentucky hanging his jersey? Yeah, I can see that.
That's fair.
Maybe Washington Honestly, I didn't really look up his career stats, but I wouldn't be surprised if he holds a record or two with the Wizards. So to me, he didn't live up to expectations, but I think personally his career was pretty good.
I mean, he only played 647 games. His field goal percentage was 43% from the field. He shot 32%.
Above average.
Yeah, it
Above
is.
Average.
It is, but
I'm trying to be fair, Dill.
It's less than what I wanted from him. He shot 32% career from the three. He averaged 4.2 rebounds, 9 assists a game. I'll give him that.
That's great. That's pretty great.
But guess what? How many points he averaged in this?
I'm gonna say at the end it fell off. I'm gonna say like 17.4.
Wow, no, 18.7.
I was close now.
Yeah.
That was close.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be at like 22.
And I'm gonna be honest, if he put it like this, if it was at 22, I'll make the case he's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, it really fell off during the late in his career.
His first 5 seasons in the NBA, you're not gonna tell me he wasn't electric. He wasn't great. Yeah, he might have not been generational or all time, all NBA, but he was pretty damn good in my opinion. So I think John Wall had a great career. Maybe not, honestly, good career. Maybe didn't live up to maybe the first overall hype or expectations, but overall, Dill, compare it to the majority of the NBA, he had a pretty good career.
Wasn't the best free throw shooter, 77%.
Oh, no, absolutely not. But getting to the basket.
You know, he was quick. He was athletic. The assists actually surprised me. I didn't think he averaged 8.9 assists in his career. That's impressive.
He was up there. Man.
I'll give him that. So, and I'm happy he got a position. We'll see how knowledgeable he is on Prime. Let's go to the NFL. I'm 2-0. If the NFL season is the way it's going right now, I'm on pace to go undefeated. Another quarterback decision in Indianapolis, plus money. Daniel Jones named the starting quarterback for September 7th against the Dolphins. Colts head coach Shane Steichen, he said he is not planning for this to be a short-term arrangement for Daniel Jones. Quote, he's the starting quarterback for the season. Quote, I don't want to have a short leash on that. Now, the Colts have publicly said Anthony Richardson, he did not need to win the quarterback battle to have a future in Indianapolis, but I don't know how much truth there is to that.
I think there's some truth to that. At the end of the day, we just saw, I don't want to skip ahead, I'm not sure if you have it planned in, but we just saw Chicago's backup, Tyler
Bagent,
get a 2-year, $15 million extension.
Yeah.
To me, first of all, just to skip real quick, that was a tremendous press conference. To me, I felt every word he said. So shout out to him and his family for getting that great.
That's life-changing.
Yeah, it's life-changing money. I know some people be like, oh, $15 million to back up. At the end, that's life-changing money.
Did you read the comments? There were some haters in the comments.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had time to do much these last past week or so, but I was able to see that, and to me, that was great. So to say there's not a future as at least a backup or third string for the future for Anthony Richardson, to me, that's outlandish. To me, he has the potential. Yes, he's probably not better than Daniel Jones right now. Doesn't mean he can't be in a year from now. At the end, he was selected 4th overall. I was surprised, Gert, calling you. I was surprised that the coach said, you know what? Let's have him start week 1. Let's see what we got. If not, we have Daniel Jones there. I'm kind of shocked they were like, you know what? Our best chance to win and compete for the season is with Daniel Jones. Let's just scratch our 4th overall pick. I'm not shocked by the move. I'm just surprised they're starting the season with Daniel Jones. So shout out Daniel Jones. In my opinion, he is the better quarterback and the better option to compete week 1. Now with Anthony Richardson, to me, I'm not going to call him a bust because the potential's still there and he's still very young in his career. But this is not a good look. This is not a good sign for your future. So the only thing you could do is keep your head down, work hard, study plays. And if your name is called again, don't give them a reason to take you off the field. So shout out Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Don't hang your head low. Keep your head high.
And also, I think the reason, and I could definitely be wrong, but I think the reason Shane Steichen said, you know what, we cannot afford Anthony Richardson to be out there. his job is on the line. He can't go out there and say, you know what? Yeah, we'll give him 2-3 games and then trot out Daniel Jones. They might start 0-3. I agree. I think maybe athletically, AR-15 is very mobile. I'm trying to find confident words to say, but
real quick, it's no doubt in your mind he could be a second-string quarterback.
Yes, I agree with that. But what I worry about future-wise with him, health. Can he stay on the field? Because when he is, he could be a serviceable backup, but he can't stay healthy.
He could be a serviceable starter. He just needs to get there.
I don't agree with that. He's not. He can't read the field.
Maybe 6 months behind Daniel Jones will help him.
Yeah, and here's a spinning it positively. You can't get injured if you don't play.
Absolutely right. So
Right?
everything you're worried about, is going to be off of his hands. He's not going to be able to play. He's not going to get injured, and he has to learn the field, learn how to read the field. You study film, study behind Daniel Jones. So your biggest concerns, all those could get answered this upcoming season.
It's the truth.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully, he always deals with like nicky-knack injuries. I know in his rookie season, I think he had a rib his first game. No, a small injury his first game of his career. Didn't finish. Then the week 3, week 4, broke his ribs. So that wasn't a good start. Last season, nicky knack injuries again. And then the first quarter of the preseason, week 1, he jammed his thumb or whatever will happen with his thumb, and he lost his job since.
So we'll see. Been a tough go for AR-15, I'll tell you that. Only one team remains without a starting quarterback to be named, the New Orleans Saints. It will either be Spencer Rattler, or the rookie out of Louisville, Tyler Sout. We'll see. I like the rookie, but this is an opportunity where I think you need to go with Spencer Rattler.
Me personally, I saw enough last season. I think I'm not a professional, but I watch a lot of
guess I'm
football.
biased. I've won a lot of money in college with Spencer Rattler. I think the guy has some potential.
Yeah,
he was a 5-star out of Oklahoma, kid.
Yeah, the potential was there.
Yeah,
but we saw him. Don't get me wrong; he had some pretty good halves last season.
Some bad ones too.
And he also had horrendous halves. I remember one game he scored like 35, 34 points, which was impressive. But he also had like 2 picks in the game.
I think pick sixes at that.
At that. So I think you got to try out the young bull, Dill. I think you got to start. I think you know what Spencer is. Don't get me wrong. Would I be shocked if he's named the week 1 starter? Absolutely not. Do I expect him to be the starter come week 6? Absolutely not. So I think this is a toss up right now. But if I'm the Saints, Sam,
Kellen
Moore.
Yes, I was about to say who that coach is.
Yeah, I don't know why I was drawing a blank. If I'm Kellen Moore, I'm gonna go with the young boy.
You're a big Kellen Moore fan.
Kellen Moore is a top
10,
12 offensive play caller.
That's fair. I wonder how he's going to do as a head coach.
At times, top 8. Majority of the time.
As the personnel.
Yeah, if he has we saw it last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. The offense, I'm not going to say it was all time, but it was efficient. It was efficient.
Spencer Rattler did get named the starter for this Saturday's final preseason game against the Broncos. So right now, that's the only. Good sign. Yeah, that is for him. Right now, the only starting QB prop on FanDuel, no free shoutouts, is Spencer Rattler. He is the favorite at -460. Tyler Sout is +310. You'll take this flyer at +310.
Yeah, at +310, I'll take it. At the end of the day, it's Spencer's job to lose. I think he has to go out there and not ball, but just not lose his job.
Yeah, and I think Kellen Moore's good. He has a 5-year deal.
Yeah, if I'm Spencer Rattler, I know people hate using this term. I'm trying to be an elite game manager Saturday.
But that's part of the game as a quarterback. I agree.
I know. People hate the term game manager. I know. Right? At the end of the day, that's like you said, Dill. That's what you got to do as a quarterback. So if I'm Spencer Rattler, number 1 goal is be efficient. Don't turn the ball over. Manage the game.
Yeah. I agree. And I think there's a negative connotation towards that, and I don't know why. And a lot of people have labeled my boy JJ McCarthy like that. Oh, he's gonna hand the ball off. He's gonna
He
manage.
didn't even have a start yet. What the?
No, back in even college. Even in college, they said he was a game manager. He only threw 10 passes.
Well,
it's the truth. But
it's
still, that's being a game manager is being part.
It's like Jimmy Garoppolo when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Remember, he threw the ball 7 times.
He's crazy, Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think he had less than 20 pass attempts in the divisional round and NFC Championship game.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it's a negative connotation, which I don't know why. But we also
it's
actually
kind of a slap in the face.
Is.
Imagine saying, "Oh, you didn't outplay me. You just managed the game better than me." That's kind of like a backhanded compliment.
It is it's like a backhanded compliment. Yeah, it's like I don't know why though, but and then lastly, we did have another trade between the 49ers and the Chiefs. So the 49ers received wide receiver Sky Moore. They need all the wide receiver help they could get right now. They also got a 2027 7th round pick, and the Chiefs got back a 6th round pick. But 49ers are in desperate need of wide receiver help, kid.
Yeah, I think Sky Moore is a serviceable wide receiver. We know he's a deep threat. Didn't really get the enough playing time in Kansas City. Let's just be honest. Kansas City's offense will be just fine without Sky Moore. So I think with San Francisco, as of right now, still haven't got a long-term deal done or even a 1-year extension with Jawan Jennings.
So that's the thing. Brandon Ayuk recovering from ACL. Jawan Jennings has a calf, which I'm using air quotes. He wants to get paid. Demarcus Robinson, people forget he's suspended for the first 3 games. Jordan Watkins, high ankle sprain. The only available guy they have, Isaiah Hodgins, who I think they are high on. Ricky Purcell, who you should draft Ricky Purcell this season. And now they have Sky Moore. I worry offensively. We're going to talk about them next week, but I worry offensively for this 49er team.
I'm worried about Christian McCaffrey and his legs because right now it's looking like George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey.
That's it.
75% of the ball.
And Ricky Purcell. That's about it.
They're going to double team one of them.
Yeah, they have to. So they had to make a move. So I am glad that they did that. But kid, that's about it. Anything else over the week? I know you haven't been really tuned into it, but did you hear the comments between Shador and Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, I seen Shador. I don't remember the quote, but he said,
he was like, "Yeah, talk to him, but I don't even think about it."
Yeah, he said, "I ain't worried about that. I'm gonna worry what I can control or something like that." Yeah. So I'll be honest. I wish he didn't. I love the energy, but I wish he didn't say that comment publicly, saying that like, "Yeah, we spoke about it, but that doesn't matter." I'm not really. At the end of the day, he should be like, "Yeah, that's my teammate. We're solid. We're moving forward." At the end of the day, we're worried about what we got to do as teammates to make the Browns better. That would have been the perfect answer. That's it.
That's a very political answer.
That's what I'm saying. If I know to say that, Shador, you should know to say that.
Oh man, well,
Shout out Shador though. Shout out Shador.
And honestly, I don't know if he was talking about him.
Not me personally. If I had to bet money on it, I'm gonna say it wasn't about Shador. He had.
There were videos that came out. He used to say that in Oregon.
I'm going to say he had that scripted deal. He was ready for his camera moment, and that was his bar.
Yeah, and I think people took it and ran with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
They couldn't take much from the game, so they took the soundbite.
I agree.
What was the Oregon?
The thing was, it was like, I'm an entertainer. I'm not an entertainer. I'm a playmaker, or like something like that.
There's entertainers and there's competitors.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then remember what Oregon's coach said? We're here for wins. They're here for clicks or something like that. That's basically what
he was implying.
No, that's basically what he did. He had a click way.
I respect it though.
He knew that was gonna. I'm not gonna say he knew, but I know he knew if he said that, it will go maybe not viral, but it'll go out there.
Yeah. By the way,
I don't think he expected it to get spun the way it got spun.
I know you don't really watch ESPN, and I try not to either because I don't think ESPN's that good anymore, honestly.
Oh no, I haven't watched ESPN since like Stuart Scott.
Yeah, R.I.P.
This is like, yeah, I'm talking maybe like 2 years after Stuart started. So maybe like
I'll
2016.
sometimes listen to Scott Van Pelt late night. Like if I'm up, I'll listen to Scott Van Pelt, which I
Yeah,
like.
he's the only one.
Outside of that, bro, I don't watch Sports Center. And I saw a viral clip on Twitter. Did you see when Drewski came on a show and this
Yeah.
girl, Molly McNutt, said, "Oh, you got the Shador?" And he was like, "What?" It was a Barry Sanders jersey. If you can't recognize that and you're hosting a sports show, you should be, I'm going to use Elvis quote, you should be fully ashamed of yourself. That is, bro, I could ask my little cousin who's 9 years old. He'll be like, that's Barry Sanders. And I'm not, and Stephen A was like, oh, he was trying to save her. That's bad, bro.
Yeah, that was a bad look. At the end of the day, it doesn't, like Drewski, at the end of the day, he's a comedian. He's an entertainer. So
Even he knew.
Yeah, it's not a horrible look on Drewski. It's a bad look for ESPN. Like, why you have this guy and shout out Drewski. No, Drewski. Like, why do you have Drewski and her on ESPN having that type of moment? You know, you got to put better people on. So, to me, Drewski, he's just doing Drewski.
Yeah, he was just chilling.
At the end of the day, it is what it is, still. But it's
you know when you're talking or you're at like a barbecue or an event and you're like, oh, I like sports, and then you start talking to them about sports because you know about sports, you could identify a fake sports fan so quick because you start talking to them and you're like, you really don't.
You don't know.
You don't know.
No, yeah.
And that's what I felt watching that. I was like,
you watch the Super Bowl with the family, have drinks and cocktails.
Yeah, you're like, I can't wait for the halftime.
Yeah. We over here sweating week 1.
I'll sweat week 0.
We over here sweating every Thursday night.
Oh my God. Yeah, I thought that was funny. But that's about it, kid. Yeah. All right. So before we get to our interview, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks to just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry watching NFL preseason. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. And now here is our interview with Caroline Fenton. All right, great interview. Yeah, we talked Bucks, we talked Panthers. And I agree. I mean, I agree with their. We're not high on the Panthers this year. And hey, contenders moving forward, I think the Buccaneers can cement themselves as true contenders of that NFC conference. And yeah, I did mention, hey, they are getting a step older, but we believe in Baker. We think he's worth the money. So we will see there. But kid, that is where we will start. We will start with the Carolina Panthers to win the Super Bowl 100-1, to come out of the NFC 50-1, and to win the South. They have the third best odds behind the Falcons and the Buccaneers at plus 430. Win total is at 6.5 minus 125 towards the over, plus 105 for the under to make the playoffs, plus 260 to not make the playoffs, minus 340. We will start with that before we get into player props. But kid, guess you're not going to play any of the division, conference, or Super Bowl, but 6.5 wins. They do have an easier schedule. What do you like?
They do have an easier schedule, and don't get me wrong. I think the Panthers are trending upwards. I like what they did on the coaching staff, upgraded there. I love we saw the addition with Adam Thielen that helped right away. Xavier Legette, now adding McMillan. I think the Panthers are trending upwards. I like what they're doing, but at the end of the day, they're still not a very good team. At the end of the day, still very young. Defensively, we got to see what they are. I like J.C. Horn. Got a couple pieces on the inside as well. But overall, they're not high on the Panthers at all. I think the schedule, it's I'm not going to say it's easy, but for them, I'm going to say it's a tough schedule, Dill. So
really?
Yeah, I'm gonna say under 6.5 wins. I wanted to get them to 7. I just couldn't get to 7. I think if it was 5.5, maybe I would have gave them the 6 games. I
Mhm.
counted 6 twice. I counted 5 once. Couldn't get to 7. Give me the under for the Carolina Panthers, but I do believe they are trending upward.
Yeah, I'm a believer in Dave Canales. I like him. I think we saw towards the tail end of the season last year, Bryce Young played
Mm-hmm.
much better. And I think that is a very positive sign. I like Xavier Legette. The drops need to be fixed. He dropped a lot of balls last season. You bring in the rookie out of Arizona, McMillan. He is good. I like Adam Thielen in the slot. I like Chuba Hubbard as well. We'll see. Defense worries me a lot,
Yeah.
though. Defense worries me. They're only favored in 3 games this season. I'm not going to bet the win total, if I'm being honest, but I do think on a week-to-week basis, there are some wins out there. You got the Saints twice. I think you could split or even take 2 of them. I think there's an opportunity to split with the Falcons.
Yeah.
That's 2 there. I think they could beat the Jets. That's 3.
Wow, you're saying that? Wow,
Yeah, Jets
I
are
give them a
terrible.
shot. I give them a shot. They're live.
I think they could beat the Cardinals. I think that's 4. I think we don't even know what's going on in week 5 with Miami. They're a week-to-week team.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Yo. I not advocating for Miami, but the Miami slander got to stop on the show.
I will
you're
not.
talking like Miami Dolphins is gonna be a 4-win team.
No, they're gonna be a 6-win team.
I'll bet you that.
No, I'm not betting you that.
Yeah,
but there will be no more King Tua on this podcast for me. Never. I can't do it.
All right.
He's made me look like a fool.
I understand that deal, but you gotta at least realize, if healthy, Tua's a top 12, right? Still,
I don't want to say that.
At one point, you was calling him King Tua. You just
said it. When he was healthy.
Yeah. What did I just say?
But that if is, when you magnify something, that if is so big for me.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, Dale. All I'm saying is we saw it before. I think we could see it again. We saw Tua at his greatness. I think he finished 4th in MVP voting. I'm not saying he could duplicate that. All I'm saying is, if he plays and is healthy throughout the season, he's capable of being a top 10 quarterback. Not saying he's gonna be, this, that, but he might have a top 10 stat line still, if healthy. So the Miami Dolphins slander just needs to stop a little.
I think that's a game that they could win. We don't even know week 1 Jaguars. We're high on them, but if we're wrong,
at Jacksonville,
yes, I think there's a game.
That's a sold-out game.
No way.
Hunter,
he's been hurt. We don't even know he's gonna play. And I also think week 17 in Seattle.
That one I give you just because it might not matter, but maybe Seattle needs that to get to the wild card. If Seattle needs that, if the Seattle season is still up in the air, that's a loss for the air. Because you know why? Seahawks are going to be battling for playoff position, possibly, or a play-in spot. Panthers going to be playing for a draft pick. That's the difference.
I think I'm not going to bet it, but gun to my head, I probably would take the over because I think they upgraded in their playmakers. The offensive line isn't terrible. You got the kid out of Arizona, McMillan. You got Legette. He does need to improve. Another year for Bryce Young, Adam Thielen. And we forget, the Panthers were one of the league's most efficient offenses when it came to scoring or on rushing plays. Carolina averaged the score every 22 rush attempts. That's the 6th fewest rushes per the NFL. That's the 4th. And now they get Travis Etienne, Trevor Etienne.
Yeah.
He's going to back up Chuba Hubbard as well. They were great in the red zone last year. They were top 10 in red zone. They scored 62% of the time when they got in the red zone. I think they're going to surprise some teams. I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs or anything, but I think they're a week-to-week team. I wouldn't bet it, but I think over 6.5 wins if gun to my head. Let's speak of Bryce Young. His passing yards, 3,200.5, minus 114 both ways. His passing touchdowns is at 18.5. The under is favored at minus 130. If you like the over, it's at minus 102. What are we feeling here for year 3 for Bryce Young?
In year 1, Bryce Young had just a hair shy of 2,900 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. In his sophomore year, he had 2,400 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. With that being said, I do expect them to be better. I expect Bryce Young with Kalanis to be better and more efficient. Still, I love the addition of McMillan. I wasn't. Don't get me wrong. Do I think he was a first round talent? Absolutely. Do I think he should have went as high as he did? That right there, he gonna have to prove it to me, Dill. But I like the acquisitions they're making to help develop Bryce Young. I think we're gonna see Bryce Young's best season thus far. New offensive coordinator, slightly better offensive line, and you got more weapons on the outside. Chuba Hubbard is there. Remember, he got paid during the last season. He's going to be coming in fresh and healthy. I think we're going to see the best season of Bryce Young. Give me over 3,200 passing yards over for Bryce Young. At the end of the day, with Brian Kalias, the new upgraded wide receivers, and I don't expect him to be up in majority of these games either. I think we're going to see Bryce Young be a little more confident in the pocket and trust his arm, and we're going to see him throw off his back foot a couple of times. So I think we're going to see Bryce Young take more shots down the field this year. I think we're going to see the offensive playbook open up just a little bit. So I think we're going to see the best year thus far of Bryce Young. So give me over 3,200 and a half passing yards and give me over 18 and a half passing touchdowns. We saw just from year 1 to year 2 a 4 touchdown bump. I could see another 4, another 5 deal. So give me over 18 and a half passing touchdowns as well.
Yeah, love the over 3,200. I think he's going to be down in a lot of games. And like I said, the upgrade at wide receiver position, they love the kid. I probably wouldn't have drafted him that high, but they like him.
Yeah.
So
he's no doubt the potential's there to be a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Yeah.
I just think he's a little. Don't want to disrespect him, but I'd rather draft.
We'll see. He has to prove it.
He has to prove it. At the end of the day, one thing I could give him, and I don't want to jump ahead, though. Should I just jump ahead and move on?
No, I got it. We'll go in chronological order, but I agree. I know what you were going to say. Mm-hmm. I want to go to Chuba Hubbard because I think when healthy, Chuba Hubbard's a top 12, top 15 running back. I wish he was on a better team, but I think he's the straw that makes everything go. His rushing yards is at 950 and a half. I think the market is indicating he could get to 1,000 yards. His rushing touchdowns is at 6.5. Even money at the over. If you like the under, it is favored at minus 132. What are you feeling here for Chuba Hubbard?
Dill, last season, I think he had almost 1,200 rushing yards. Over 950 and a half. I think with a better offense all around, I think Chuba Hubbard's gonna go for 1,000 plus. Like I said, he got paid already. I think his job will be a little easier with the weapons on the outside. Maybe not load the box as much, especially if Bryce Young is out there slinging that thing. So I think Hubbard could go for another 1,000 plus still. So give me over 950 and a half at minus 114. His over on the touchdowns is at 6.5. He had 10 last season. I'm gonna stay away because I took Bryce Young's over passing touchdowns, but I have no doubt in my mind that Chuba could have 7, 8 rushing plus touchdowns once again.
Yeah, it was just saying they were one of the most successful rushing teams last year, especially with Chuba Hubbard. I don't even think the offensive line is that bad. If they could stay healthy, I could definitely see another 1,000-yard game or year, excuse me. So gonna stay away from the touchdowns because I just don't trust them to get into the end zone. I think they're going to be kicking a lot of field goals. No disrespect. I just think, when you get down into the red zone, it is tough to score in the NFL. Let's go to the kid out of Arizona, McMillan. Terrion McMillan, his receiving yards is at 850 and a half, minus 114 towards the over and under. Actually, it's minus 14 both ways. 4.5 touchdowns, minus 148. I think the market is indicating he's going to go over. I love the over 4.5 touchdowns. And he comes in and immediately becomes their wide receiver number 1. No disrespect to Xavier Legette. And Adam Thielen is a legend, but this guy is going to get 1,000 yards. He's going to get 6 to 7 touchdowns. He is going to be their number one and Bryce Young's number one target. I love him. I think he's going to have a really big year. And everything I'm reading out of Carolina, the guy's acting like a vet in and out of the locker room. So all positive signs. So, yeah, I love both overs.
Yeah, Dill, give me both overs as well. What I was gonna say earlier, Dill, I like this kid for one major reason. Look at the talent that's been coming in these last few seasons. Still, Zay Flowers, Jackson Smith, Nick Jigba, Jordan Addison, Puka Nakua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Roma Duze, Thomas from Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been home run after home run after home run in these last first and second rounds, drafting these wide receivers still. So that what gives me confidence in them, that so far lately, every wide receiver that's been drafted in the first 2 rounds has been an absolute stud. So there's no doubt in my mind this kid might be the same. Might be the same. So that gives me the confidence still. Just because everybody that's coming in prior has been so elite, so fast. And one thing real quick before we jump ahead, I think the NFL and college football should get together and really consider having some position, maybe not all, come out a little earlier, Dill. Because some of these wide receivers that I just named, and I think McKellen could be one of those, they were NFL ready a year ago. Let's go back. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, all those guys was ready to go at Ohio State. They just had to be there for 3 seasons. So to me, it seems like lately these wide receivers are NFL ready week 1.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. 3 years is the limit that they do have to stay in college.
I know, but look
I
at
know.
that.
I know. But now with the NIL, they could still change their family's life.
No, I understand that.
Back then, they couldn't.
Every player I named just now, Dill,
they were ready.
Would have had a good NFL rookie season a year prior.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Anything else with Carolina? It's kind of short and simple to the point.
Yeah, just those plays, man. Give me the under 6.5. Bryce Young over both his props. McKellen over both his props. And Hubbard over his rushing, stood away from his touchdowns.
All right, let's get to Tampa Bay. They did win the division last year. To win the Super Bowl this year, they are 25-1. To win the NFC, they are 12-1. They are the favorite to win the South at plus 100. Win total is at 9, plus 100 again for the over, minus 120 for the under. If you like them to make the playoffs at minus 154, there's no reason to play that if you like them to win the division. Or no at plus 126. Yeah, I'm going to take them to win the South at plus 100. I wouldn't take them to make the playoffs because why would you pay that if they're going to win the division? I also like the over 9.5 wins for Tampa Bay. I do think this weaker division has gotten better outside of Saints. I think Carolina has gotten better. I think the Falcons have gotten better. I think they're still a year or two away, but this team has talent across the board. You start with Todd Bowles at coach. Baker's a top 15 quarterback. I have Baker ranked 14th. I still think he's a really good quarterback. He's proven he's worth every money. He should be the franchise quarterback moving forward. I think they have a top offensive line, top 5. They're going to miss Tristan Wirfs a little bit. We talked about that on the interview. Running backs, we are huge Bucky Irving fans on this podcast. I love the running back room. Receivers, they are a top duo. They're top 5 receiving room. I worry about the defense a little bit. Not so much the secondary, the front 7, getting home to the quarterback. That is what I worry about a little bit, but I like the over, man. I really do. They were a great offense. We'll see how they do without Liam Cohen this season, but they were top 5 in everything last year. Passer rating, passing first downs, 224. Total offensive EPA, 122.6 for Baker Mayfield in that offense. So as much as Tampa struggled against the pass, they saw much more success against the run. They allowed 1,066 rushing yards. That was 4th in the league. And they stopped the run at a 65% clip. That was top 5 in the league as well. And again, I just love Bucky Irving, man. In his rookie season, fourth round pick they found him out of. So he finished 10th in rushing, 1,122. He led the unit and the NFL for fourth highest rushing total in 2024. 5.1 rush yards per rush. That's third in the NFL. He runs fucking hard, kid. So I love this team. I think they have an easier schedule. I counted 10 wins a few times. They're favored in 12 games. They have a bunch of veterans. I love Todd Bowles. I have a soft spot for him, especially late in the season. They have a lot of easier games. And I would argue the only tough games they have are on the road. Buffalo on the road week 11, Monday Night Football against the Lions in week 7. But the other games, they play the Eagles, but that's at home. Who's to say they may not catch the Eagles? So, not saying they should win that game, but I think all the tough games are on the road, which I don't mind. I think they're a good road team. So, I like the over, and I like them to win the division.
Still, first of all, I'm just gonna touch on a few things you said. Love the run defense. Shout out Vita Vea. That's why they're one of the best run stoppers in all of football, because you got the big man right in the middle, filling up the gap. So shout out Peter Vay. I think defensively, Dill, yes, they might not have the pass rush that they once had, but Logan Hall still there. Levante David came back. Hassan Reddick is there. I understand some of these guys might be past their prime a little bit. I think defensively with Todd Bowles, they'll be just fine. To secondary, still pretty good. I'm gonna give them top half of the secondary. Jamel Dean, Antonio Winfield Jr., one of the best safeties in the game. So I think overall defensively, they'll be a middle of the pack outside of the top 10. I'm going to say top 15, especially with Todd Bowles. But offensively, Baker Mayfield at times was a top 10 quarterback last year. Bucky Irving was a top 10 running back last year. And let's be honest, you might not agree with me, but I think the Buccaneers have a chance to have maybe the best wide receiving group in football, but definitely the deepest wide receiving core in football. I think Sterling Shepard as a fifth option is a great fifth option to have. Jalen McMillan. Let's not forget how he ended the season last year after I think Chris Godwin got hurt. He had tremendous games down the stretch. There was games he was outplaying Mike Evans. How many times through I think week 13 to end the season till I ended up hitting on McMillan over. I think I hit it 3 straight weeks, something like that. So Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, you got the rookie coming in, Ejigbuck. I always butcher his last name. McMillan, Trey Palmer,
he is hurt. McMillan is going to miss some time. I think it's like 6-7 games, they said.
But overall, they're deep. Like I said, Trey Palmer, Sterling Shepard, the rookie coming in from Ohio State. And let's not forget, Cade Otto is nothing to laugh at. He's a very solid tight end. And I honestly think he's a solid fantasy option as well. Baker Mayfield is going to sling the ball. So overall, I love this Bucs team, Dale. I stood away from the total. Don't get me wrong. If I had to pick, I would pick the over. But even let's just say they go under at 9 wins. I think the division wins. You win the division with 9 games, still. So give me the Bucs to win the division at plus 100. That's my play right there.
Yeah, I agree. I think them to win the South is the safest play. My boy Emeka Ibuku from Ohio State, legend. He's another guy that could have went right into the league as well earlier. Yeah,
that's my point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Let's go into shout out LJ in the chat. Yes, we could go there in a minute, but I mean, we had Moonoff on, I think, about a month ago. That was one of his favorite plays. You could just mark Mike Evans in 1,000 yards. This man is just insane. Let's talk with Baker, though. 3,825 and a half, minus 114 both ways. 30 touchdowns, plus 112 towards the over, minus 148 towards the under. Now, my worry is, how is Baker going to look without Liam Cohen? Baker doesn't seem to be phased at that, but you got to imagine just a little drop-off, don't you think?
I think play calling wise, absolutely drop-off. Play from Baker, probably not much, but is Mike Evans and company are going to be as open as they were last year? I don't know if they're gonna be able to beat the coverage over the top like they were last year. Because let's just be honest, people. That offense was flowing last year. Baker Mayfield was flowing last year. Bucky Irvin was running the ball tremendously. He took the league by storm. So I think a lot of things got to go right, shooting health, still, but I don't think we shouldn't be surprised if the offense, especially to start the season, is a little sluggish. That's all, a little sluggish still.
All right, let's go to Bucky Irving. His rushing prop is set at 1,000 and a half. He went over this his rookie year. His rushing touchdown is at 7.5. I love this. I know they might struggle a little without Tristan Wirfs early on, but this is still a top 5 offensive line. Bucky Irving is one of the best running backs in the league. I wouldn't worry about splitting time with Rashid White just because they use him more in the passing game, not so much running the ball. So I still think Bucky Irving has over 1,000 yards this season. So I'll take the over there.
Yeah, give me over 1,000 and a half for Bucky Irvin. I think we might even see a better season than we saw last season. Because let's not forget, he wasn't the starter. Rashad White was the starter week 1. So he ended up becoming emerging as a starter week 4, week 5, I believe. And look at the season he has. So now he's coming in as the number 1 starter week 1. Though I think we even see a better season. And to go back a little bit, though, I didn't even say my Baker play. Give me Baker over 3,825 and a half at minus 114. I'm going to stay away from his touchdown total. I think 30 and a half is a little rich. Don't get me wrong. He has the talent to have 4,000 plus passing yards, maybe 42, 50 and a half, honestly, and 30 plus touchdowns. But I think 30 plus touchdowns is a high number. So I ended up just staying away. But like I said, give me Bucky Irving over 1,000 and a half rushing. Touchdowns at 6.5. I do lean the over. I do like the over, but I wouldn't be surprised. Baker gets a few. Rashard White gets a few. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised Baker runs in a few either. So I'm gonna just stay away from the touchdown, but I do lean his over as well.
Let's go to Mike Evans. His receiving yards is at 975 and a half, minus 114 both ways. His touchdowns is at 7.5. Juice towards the over, minus 122. Towards the under, minus 108. Yeah, he's getting 1,000 yards again. They will make sure he gets 1,000 yards again. I gotta go over.
Yeah, we saw it even last season. Baker and Mayfield in week 17 and 18 was finding Mike Evans to get over 1,000 yards. So I know when it comes, and he dealt with injury last year. I think he missed 2 games, still able to go over 1,000 yards. So if Mike Evans is able to play 15 plus games, I think we could all write it in another 1,000 yard from Mr. Mike Evans.
All right, let's go to the talented wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Ubuku. 825 and a half receiving yards, minus 114 towards the over. And that's it. No touchdown props, but high number for a rookie, don't you think?
Absolutely, if this was 2020. But Dill, like I said earlier, the amount of talent that's been coming in and being NFL ready week 1. Like I said, Thomas Jr. last year in Jacksonville, Malik Neighbors, all those guys came in and were immediate impactful, immediate superstar wide receivers still. I think this might not be the new norm, but it's been the trend lately. I think the books are starting to realize these first round wide receivers that's coming in, even second round wide receiver, are more talented than they were 10 years ago. No disrespect to the guys that were coming in 10 years ago, but these guys are coming in. They're ready to be impactful week 1. So it's a high total for a rookie, yes. But Dale, these rookies that be coming in has been straight studs. Give me the over 825 and a half. Like I said, I got Baker going over 3,825. He's gonna have to get it somehow. I think with Mike, Chris Godwin, rookie out of Ohio State, Otto, I think he goes over 4,000. And I think all these wide receivers, maybe not Chris Godwin because he's dealing with injury, and McKillen as well. But give me the over for these guys. And if Jalen McKillen prop was out there, I would lean his over. I think he's, even if he missed 7 games, I think he's good for 500-600 plus yards.
All right, kid. Anything else here for Tampa Bay before we get to week 0?
I hate to do it. Week 1. Give me the money line. Minus 126 against the Atlanta Falcons still. I know you might be high on the Falcons. I know we're covering them next. But I had to let the people know right now. Put it in week 1. minus 126. Add it on parlay. Take it straight. Do what
Mm.
you want to do. Baker.
All right, kid. All right, let's head on over to this. Oh, so good. Maybe not week 1, but week 0. And kid, we're gonna start in Dublin. And we're going to get a top 25 matchup here. 22 ranked Iowa State. They agreed. We're going to go all the way out to Ireland. So did Kansas State, ranked number 17th in the country. Kansas State laying 3.5, minus 162 on the money line, plus 134 for Iowa State. Total is at 50. I'll just rattle off my plays, kid. I laid the 3. It's at 3.5 right now. I like Kansas State here. I know a lot of people love Iowa State, but pros versus Joes, I guess. I'm gonna fade the public, and everyone's on Iowa State as a dog. And we have seen it in Ireland. The dogs have been barking early on. We saw it last year when Florida State Georgia Tech, I think, won outright. Florida State was that bad. So yeah, I'm gonna take Kansas State. I know dogs have been barking here in Ireland, but 3, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Kansas State will cover this game. So I'll lay the 3 here with Kansas State. UNLV laying 26.5 against Iowa State. Don't think about it. Lay the 26.5. I'm going to take UNLV. I do like a dog though, plus 10.5. Sam Houston State against Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky, I feel like, is just going through the motions right now, and I think Sam Houston State, they're live at plus 320 as a dog as well. So I would lean Sam Houston State. And then lastly, you got to end it on the island. Hawaii taking on Stanford. Frank Wright is in Stanford, by the way. If you didn't know, Frank Wright is over there. But we're going to take the Flying Hawaiians. I'll lay the 2. Money line minus 125 is good as well. I think Hawaii, you don't go to. And why do they have an island game at 7:30 when other games are on? It's supposed to be at midnight every time. That was the fun of watching and staying up against betting on Hawaii. But that's neither here or there. But yeah, I like Hawaii. I'm going to lay the 2.5. And I like the money line at minus 125. Kid, anything you have a feel for, anything you like here for week 0?
I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to tell anybody to go bet something on week 0 that I haven't done significant research on, Dill. So I'm going to just stay away. I'm going to stay away. And people, if you've been a loyal listener to the show, y'all know Dylan usually takes the rounds for college football, and I usually ease my way in. I usually have a play or 2 each week for the first 5 weeks, I say, and then week 6 to playoffs, I'm a little stronger. Maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 plays. But Dylan usually takes. Maybe times Dylan will give out 20+ plays, people.
Yeah.
So be patient.
I love it.
They're coming. I won't have more than 5 for you because at the end, college football ain't my. Let's just say, I want to say expertise, but I'm not dialed in as much in college football as I am in my other sports.
All right, kid. We had some day baseball here. Athletics continue to win. Jack Perkins looks good. They won 8-3. Royals, they continue to win. They're fighting for a playoff spot now. They beat the Rangers. Brewers tie up the series 2-2 to even it out against the Cubs. Dodgers, they win 9-5. Mets are going to miss the playoffs. They are an embarrassment of an organization.
Yeah,
no,
good.
seriously. No, they're really bad, bro. And Padres, they beat the Giants. Right now, it's 0-0 for the Yankees, top first against the Red Sox. Watch out. Yankees have been red hot. They've been scoring a ton of runs as well. So watch out there. But looking ahead towards Friday, kid, what do you like here for the MLB slate?
I only got one play, Dill. I like it. Going for now, not totally confident in it because they've been struggling as of late. But 2 struggling teams, I think the better team prevails. Minnesota Twins taking on Chicago White Sox. I think Zach Matthews on the mound for Minnesota. I'm not even going to pronounce Chicago's name because I always butcher it. But give me Minnesota on the money line on the road, minus 135 on the money line, Dill. I think they'll take care of business, get back on track. At the end of the day, we've been fading Chicago all season long. And I'm going to be honest, I think this is the right time for the Twins to get back on track. This is a bad team in Chicago. Minnesota, you're better than this. There's no reason why you shouldn't win this series. Give me Minnesota minus 135 on the money line. That's my only play of the day.
Zebby Matthews. I fucking hate the Twins. They're on my do not bet list. I cannot bet them. Got some good games though. Low key like the Red Sox. I think the value is with them. Max Fried really hasn't been the best either. Red Sox rake against left-handed pitchers, and Red Sox always give the Yankees some type of fit. So I don't mind.
In New York.
Yes, I don't mind the value with the Red Sox. I kind of like the over as well. I do think Bello will give up a few. Max Fried has given up 3+ runs in 7 of his last 8 games. So yeah, I think we'll see some runs there.
Couple home runs as well.
Shane Bieber is making his debut. He hasn't pitched in over a year for the Blue Jays. We'll see how that goes against the Marlins. Mets should win. Probably won't. I'm trying to find games that I really like. I was actually going to take the White Sox. Plus 120, I think, is with the value is with the White Sox, but I'm not going to bet that game. I like the Rangers, man. Nathan Eovaldi on the run line, plus 126. I think coming back home after a tough, long series, after a long road trip, it also helps when you have a top 5 pitcher in Nathan Eovaldi. He's been absolutely nails. They've won 9 of his last 10 starts, 8 straight, and 7 of those 8 games they've won by 2 or more runs. It's kind of crazy. Whenever he pitches, they just wind up scoring runs. They're going up against Slade Ciccone, who he hasn't been good in the month of August. So, yeah, I like this spot. Minus 1.5 for the Rangers. I don't mind that play. And I love the Dodgers here tomorrow night as well. Minus 120, I think, is a great number. Still fading Yu Darvish here. I don't feel comfortable backing him, especially when his last start, he got destroyed against his Dodgers team. So he gives up the long ball. Walks continue to be an issue for him. So I like Blake Snell as well. I think coming back after that injury, he's looked really good. So, yeah, I'll take the Dodgers here on the money line, minus 120 as well. But, kid, that's going to do it. Anything else before we get out of here? Next time, you'll be in another country, and I'll be in Florida.
Yeah, next pod, we'll be in another country. Hopefully the Wi-Fi hitting. Shout out my dad. Hopefully the Wi-Fi. Honestly, last time I was there, the Wi-Fi was pretty good. So, shout out my dad. I'll be there in a couple of days, and then I'll be in Punta Cana Resort for the next, I'm pretty sure. If anything, if not the next pod, the pod after that. So,
by the way, what Wi-Fi do you have at your crib now?
Pretty sure it's Optimum.
Okay, not bad. No lag.
Yeah, it's great, right?
Yeah, no lag.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like, babe, I think I'm gonna have to upgrade the Wi-Fi. She's like, nah, it's good. I'm sure. Trust me.
Are you close to the router?
It's not even in our apartment. It's upstairs.
Oh yeah, no, you're great. Honestly, streaming was good. I got Verizon. I paid because my house is over 100 years old and it's trash. But yeah, I upgraded. It's worth it.
I remember my mom's house. I upgraded the Wi-Fi. Always crisp. Still.
Oh,
Always.
you got to. We got to.
Now, honestly, that reminds me. I'm gonna tell her to downgrade because she don't need that.
She don't need it now.
Yeah, she don't need it.
Yeah,
for TikTok.
Yeah, fucking crazy with women. All right, kid. Any last words? Hey, safe travels.
God bless America.
God bless America. Well, that's going to do it. Enjoy safe travels, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.